to Conversations with CardFlight. I'm Derek Webster, and I'm joined today by Tyler Vaughey, who's the Senior Vice President of American Express, overseeing U.S. small business, or U.S. small merchants, I guess.
U.S. small merchants, you got it.
U.S. small merchants. Welcome, Tyler. Excited to have you here.
Thank you.
So let's start. I'm sure we're going to talk a ton about small merchants. I think we're going to talk a ton about American Express.
Yep.
But before we dive in, let's talk about you, the person. Can you share a little bit more about your background and your career?
Yeah. So I've been at American Express for 18 years now. I was graduating from business school, thought I was going to be on one path. It was the tech bubble. It burst. I had to scramble for a job, and I identified, Amex was one of the places where I tried to get in because it was a great company, great brand, and culturally it's been a great fit. So I've been fortunate to have a variety of roles here, and so far so good.
Wonderful. Could you share a little bit more about your role today and kind of what
Sure.
the day-to-day is like for you and what you're focused on?
Yeah. So I am responsible for partnering with all of the acquirers that effectively represent American Express in the marketplace, particularly in the small merchant space. We also have a variety of proprietary merchants that work with us directly, but the vast majority of the small merchant portfolio I'm responsible for are acquired by our partners, be it First Data or Square or Stripe or Bank of America. And so we manage those relationships, and then we also engage those merchants and try to bring them value-added services along with those partners.
So there's quite a few merchant acquirers out there, quite a few millions, small merchants in the U.S. Let's talk about the small business kind of owner, or the small business in general, kind of as a customer. What are some of the unique needs and opportunities and challenges that you look to navigate, on behalf of those small businesses? Yeah,
well, as you know, it's easy to give a profile to a segment, but everyone's different.
Yep.
But if we had to overgeneralize, when we kind of think about small merchants, payments is just part of it's a secondary or maybe even a tertiary part of what they do. They are trying to make payroll, make sales, manage inventory, get traffic through the door, drive incremental sales. And so when we think about bringing value to our merchants, you have to think about how can you take pain points away. And when we think about whether you're talking about Visa, MasterCard, American Express, some of these big acquirers, you have to think about how can you do it at scale, because that's the only way that you're going to make an impact on a really large portfolio. So you kind of have to balance being very kind of giving curated value, but also having to be able to do it at scale. And there's always that balance. So
speaking of something you guys are doing at scale, Small Business Saturday is an initiative that you've launched, I think, a number of years ago, but certainly has had a lot of momentum in recent years. And coming up soon, I've even started to see some of the marketing materials about it. Could you share more about what the initiative is and kind of what it does?
Sure. We are actually, this is going to be our 10th anniversary. And 10 years ago, we were a founding member of Small Business Saturday, and Small Business Saturday is the Saturday first Saturday after Thanksgiving. Said another way, it's sandwiched in between Black Friday and Cyber Monday. And the whole premise is that as a company, we spend so much time and effort trying to make sure that we're nurturing relationships with small businesses, and small businesses are the backbone of main streets in urban areas and rural areas, suburban areas, et cetera. And so we wanted to make sure that we were playing an integral part in helping to drive traffic effectively to small businesses that are now sandwiched in between the big box retailers on Black Friday and online retailers on Cyber Monday. And so it's been something that's really it's gone from being kind of an Amex only event to now it's been a great grassroots campaign. We have a lot of kind of government we have a lot of government participation from municipalities all the way up to senators. We have a lot of other corporate sponsors that are involved. A lot of our acquiring partners partner with us to amplify the message. And effectively, we're just trying to help drive traffic to our small merchants and make sure that they know that they're supported.
So American Express, obviously a for-profit company, quite significant profits.
Yeah.
And, an initiative like that sounds like is much more impact focused, or you're underwriting it on different metrics than pure kind of profitability. Yeah. How do you evaluate those kind of, I don't know if it's tensions or opportunities, or, how do you decide which initiatives like that to pursue, where to stay focused on things that have a, true, like, show me the bottom line ROI?
Yeah. I mean, you're right. I mean, if you looked at ROI on Small Business Saturday, it would be hard to pencil that for us. But we believe it's the right thing to do. We believe it's the right message. We do know that a lot of our merchants really appreciate it. But to go back to my earlier commentary on, when we try to do things, we try to do them very well at scale. And we try to help as many people, as many merchants as we can. And that's been a big shot in the arm for us.
So within payments, American Express is unique in that you're obviously a payment network, but you major issuer.
Yeah.
In acquiring, you work with partners, but also frequently directly with merchants as well. What are some of the unique opportunities and challenges that come with kind of playing across all aspects of the value chain?
Yeah, from an opportunity standpoint, is we have a very unique opportunity we see all the data. Mm-hmm. Right? We know the card members, we know the merchants, we have the network that sits in between. And so there's a variety of things that we do that you could only do in what we would call an Amex, the closed loop network. So as an example, hundreds of millions of times a year, we make a recommendation powered by an algorithm to a card member at American Express recommending that they go to a specific merchant or set of merchants. Mm-hmm. That we only can do because we know who the merchants are, where they are, and the buying habits of that card member and where they are. And you can only do that in a closed loop when you have that full data set at your disposal.
And certainly, using and leveraging data like that is, obviously happening more and more. It's certainly a broader trend in the marketplace. And we talked about earlier, you've been at American Express for 17 years.
Yep.
And I imagine the company's changed a bit over the time. Yep. Obviously, your individual roles changed. Can you share a little bit more about kind of some of those changes, either within American Express or that you've seen within the industry?
Yeah, as a company, we have become much more focused on being a payments brand. And, we have spent a lot of time over the last couple of years really working on making decisions faster. There's a benefit of being a big company, mm-hmm. but you also have to be thoughtful about how quickly are we getting to market, how quickly are we adjusting.
So we've talked a lot about kind of recent changes in the market and historical changes in the market. Let's talk about the future. Okay. What are some of the biggest trends you're following now, or maybe predictions you have for how the industry is going to evolve over the next few years?
Yeah. There's a lot of friction that continues to be taken out of the environment.
Yep.
And effectively, I think the people that have really been growing well are the providers that are growing well payments is just a piece of that puzzle. These are much more integrated platforms that are catering to whether it be a restaurant or catering to a dry cleaner or catering to a retail establishment. And I think that to the extent that there are platforms that are providing a variety of services that really cater to that business, and it's sticky. And so to the extent that platforms are staying out in front and they are a bona fide one-stop shop, I kind of feel like that's going to be the people who are winning in the market.
So Tyler Vaughey, Senior Vice President of U.S. Small Merchant at American Express, thank you for joining us today.
You got it.
And thank you. This has been Conversations with CardFlight. For more great conversations, be sure to follow CardFlight on YouTube, LinkedIn, or Twitter.